In fact, that brings me to the next topic that we're discussing. It's about school opening and children, and top medical body, the Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has said recently that schools need to be reopened in a phased manner, beginning with primary schools, followed by secondary schools, and allowed to remain open and safe with multi-layered mitigation measures. In an opinion piece published in the Indian Journal of Medical Research, the expert cited a UNESCO report which stated that shutting schools in India for more than 500 days have affected over 320 million children. Many states have opened schools in a phased manner. In fact, schools in Mumbai will be reopening on Monday for the first time in 1.5 years, and that's especially a big achievement given that we know Maharashtra and Mumbai were one of the worst affected by COVID. And this comes amidst demands from activists who say children are losing their future. Meanwhile, another piece of news that has emerged is that civic-run GS Medical College in the KEM hospital, 30 students tested positive for COVID there. Now the BMC has asked for more testing of students and their contacts to be done. Well, let's now go back to Dr. Rachna Kochariya for more on this. And firstly, Dr. Rachna, your comments on the ICMR report, which interestingly says that you should open up for junior classes first and, in a staggered manner with lots of care, but open up for junior classes first. And in fact, most of the schools have done it the other way around. They've opened up for senior classes first.
Well, I'll be honest, Gargi, I haven't had a chance to look at the detailed report, but I have glanced at it. And I think that they are basing some of it, and there's now lots of data coming in from all over the world. In the US also, schools have been opened, even the junior ones, maybe not all days, some days, alternate days. But there's something called a dispersion phenomena. So studies have been done, modeling studies, where it's been seen that this virus responds more to super spreader events. To put it very simply, if there's a large crowd like a mela where people don't know one another, then if one person is infected, they could go ahead and infect 80% others if people are not known. Whereas the transmission risk is lower if it's a family or a known group of people, let's say a workplace or a school. Remember, all of this data is still evolving. This is modeling data, not actual study data, but we have to go by something. As well as on the other side, as we know that for children, not just the academic learning, the mental, social development, it hinges on being in a community environment, which is the school. So it's a big dilemma world over. We are not the only ones faced with it. And if you ask me personally, I think they should go ahead and open schools again. Alert, alert, alert. Nothing blindly, different communities,
right,
different
and
cities.
Watch it very closely, isn't it, Doctor?
Yes,
and we're also
yes.
joined by Dr. Sameer Dalwai, a National Joint Secretary, Indian Academy of Pediatrics. Sir, your comments on the ICMR saying that schools should be reopened, interestingly saying that, junior classes should be reopened first, and that's something we haven't seen done, that it was done the other way around. Also, we've had this news of students in KEM hospital getting 30 of them being detected with COVID. And again, if you could explain to us, this is something that is going to happen. We need to track it very closely, but at the same time, be very careful and continue with the opening of schools, isn't it?
Absolutely. See, this is an unprecedented situation, and the honest truth is nobody knows exactly what is going to happen. So a lot of it is based on what is going on, the little bit of experience we have. It's been a year and a half that schools have been closed. We just cannot continue with that. We have to make a beginning. And hence, though ICMR, based on the UNESCO study, has recommended younger children because of the lower morbidity and mortality, what is also felt is that perhaps it's more difficult for younger children to maintain COVID-appropriate behavior outside or outdoors. Right. And perhaps it's going to be easier to make the older children follow COVID-appropriate behavior. And based on that, what we think is the right step forward, especially government of Maharashtra has taken, is to open schools in the rural areas from 5th to 12th and in the urban areas from 8th to 12th, because obviously there is much more crowding. If you see infrastructure in places in Mumbai, Pune, Nagpur, in the cities, things are so crowded. So I think this is a welcome step. At the same time, we have reports from over 15,000 schools which had started in various parts of Maharashtra, maybe informally in the last so many days, and the results coming in from there are quite hopeful and quite positive. But of course, what you mentioned from KEM, so we have to weigh and go ahead with things as they come along, because we can't take any knee-jerk reactions. So I think let's go ahead with opening the schools, convincing the children and cajoling them, motivating them to follow COVID-appropriate behaviors, at the same time explaining to teachers how they should motivate children to take care of this. But I feel as a developmental pediatrician, the bigger important point is to consider emotional rehab for children in the schools. Let's not rush into syllabus completion and curriculum. Even now I'm sitting in my clinic and we are seeing the various impacts of children that they have faced due to COVID. Children have gone also online and have got so much used to an online lifestyle. We need to understand that we need to emotionally get them back into a normal frame, into the regular schedule of schools. And that is what, at least for the next 2-3 weeks, we must focus upon the emotional rehabilitation of children in the schools rather than rushing to complete syllabus and tests.
Right, that's such an important point, not just rush ahead and, go on with the syllabus and actually first get them back into the rhythm of things and help them. And yes, it's been a very difficult time for children, doctor, but I also think it's a lot of the parents also who need to be encouraged and cajoled, because I remember in Delhi when school opening was announced, a lot of the parent associations were upset, and I believe in Mumbai as well, very similarly, a lot of the parent associations are very concerned and worried about this.
You're absolutely right. It's a bit like the vaccine. If you force people, then it kind of makes them worried. And the government, at least in Maharashtra, has taken the right step not to make it mandatory but voluntary for the parents, because there will be some who will join immediately and there will be some who will want to wait back and watch. And we should have courses for all meals. So let those who are a little skeptical, let them watch the other children going in. Also, it's not just the parents. Some children don't want to go back to school because they've been used to a comfort lifestyle at home. They would watch the other children go to school and then they would connect, and then gradually even the children would feel motivated to go to school. I mean, you're sitting at home getting meals, sitting at your place, watching everything online. Suddenly children may not be so happy to go out and go up 3 floors in the school and things like that, but they will. We need to make a beginning, and I'm sure once they see their friends having more fun back in the school, they'll be motivated and they'll motivate their parents as well, while we take all the precautions.
Absolutely. Taking all precautions, that's key. Thank you so much, Dr. Sameer and Dr. Rachna, for joining me on the program.